Good evening all. I am Samkit Sudhir Kurkure of Class 5 KVSC Center Bangalore. Today I will have a conversation with my grandfather Sri S.B. Navalgunji, retired ACP. He has served as an officer in Prime Minister Security Unit SPG. Currently he stays in Hubballi, Karnataka. Good evening Ajja. I wanted to know about your childhood activities. Can you please tell me how far was your school from your home?
I was studied in village called Varur in Dharwad district. My village was having the population of 500 people at that time in 1958. Then there was no school at all in my village. The school was running in the temple, Hanuman temple, then Durga temple, and one Chowdi called the Panchayat office. We studied in the temple. The classroom school was about 350 meters from my house. It was in the middle of the village.
Ajja, we go to school by...
We used to go to the school without chappals, half pant and half shirt with topi.
We go to school by our school bus. How did you go? How did you commute to your school?
Our primary school was in the heart of the village only. We used to go by our foot without chappals.
We have two different school uniform. Did you have any school uniforms?
No uniform at that time. We used to wear whatever we wish.
We play cricket, football. What games did you play at school?
In primary school, we used to play kabaddi and kho-kho. Then goli game, etc. We used to play.
I like mathematics. What was your favorite subject?
My favorite subject was biology.
Do you remember your favorite teacher?
I remember my mama Padmaraj Navalgund, my mother's brother. He was teaching from the LKG to up to 7th standard.
Any incident you recollect of your school days?
In primary school or in primary school, everybody used to get the scholarship in the form of dictionaries. The one headmaster used to favor only ladies because he was residing in their houses. I was a brilliant student in the school. I was stood first in the school in every class, but I didn't get the scholarship. But I was unhappy because partition of the headmaster towards their rented house owner's daughter.
We come to your home for vacations. How did you spend your school vacations?
I spent my school vacation in my relative's house, Anigeri, Dharwad district. In the vacation, we used to go to 15 days to remain in Mama's house and their children. We used to go to the field to collect the jamun and mangoes, any fruits, and help in the farm work at the fields. I fallen down while plucking the jamun and mangoes 2 times, but I was safe. Still I am safe.
Who was your best friend in your school?
My best friend was my books only.
We get stationery from nearby shop. How did you get your paper, pen, pencil, etc.?
I used to get my pencil, books, and other stationaries from the nearby city called Hubli through my father. Once in a week, he used to go to the Hubli by cycle. From there, he used to bring these books and other things. He used to bring only 1/4 of the required books because due to the poverty in my house, I used to get all the needed books and stationery uh, after 1 month of the requirement.
My hobby is reading books. And what were your hobbies?
My hobby was also reading and writing. At the same time, in school, we used to do the farming and weaving. We used to weave at that time uh, 2, 3 bed sheets and other things.
After coming back from school, I got to badminton and swimming classes. What were you doing?
After coming back to home after school hours, I used to help my father and mother in home work. I used to clean the buffalo hut and removing the dungs and feeding the buffaloes and milking the milk from the buffaloes. Then I in moon days we used to play after reading up to 12 o'clock in the till the midnight kabaddi and kho.
We go to PVR cinema to watch movies. Did you go to watch movies or any plays?
Baba, you are great. You are residing in the metropolitan city like Bangalore. More than 20 lakhs. But I used to live in a small village called Varur, only up to 500 people. There was no cinema theater in my house. Only we used to watch whatever my father was the director of the dramas and some Ramayana and other plays. I used to watch them only. Sometimes I used to play the roles of Saraswati in Tadata and not drama.
Any play which you like to be played?
I used to play in Ramayana. I used to play Lakshmana's part.
We read under LED bulbs in the evening. How did you study in the evening?
During my education period in primary school, 1958, there was no electricity was in my village, no LED bulb and other things. But we used to study 8 to 10 members together in one lantern, small lantern, which was lightened by the kerosene. It was so hard to get the light also.
Hello Aja, hearing your conversation with Sankit, even I have a few questions for you. So,
Okay.
what was your daily routine back then?
Uh, my mother's brother, my mama, was a teacher in my village only. He was having a one small room. All the students of the school used to come to his room in my class. About 8 to 10 students together were studying in Mama's room. Then we have to get up at 4 o'clock early in the morning. If you don't get up, my mama used to take stick and beat us. Then we were very regular, punctual in getting up and studying up to 4 to 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, natural duties used to be completed. Going outside in the field because we don't have any facilities for defecation. After coming back, we used to bring water for the house from the nearby tank. Then we have to take bath. After that, we used to make puja in our house only. Then my mother used to serve the roti and breakfast. Then I used to go to the school at 7:30 a.m. After attending the school, I have to come back taking lunch. I used to study for 1 hour. Then I used to do the homework. Then helped my father and mother in home in her work and his work in farming. At 2:30, we have to attend the class again. I used to go to the school. Then up to 5 o'clock, 5:30, attending the class. Then I have to come back to home. Then playing with my friends and helping my parents in their work. I used to study at 8 o'clock with my mama. Then after completing the evening homework studies, I used to take dinner at 10 o'clock, 9:30. After that, we all the students together sleep in my mama's room. Combined study was there. After 10:30, we used to sleep till 4 o'clock. Again, at 4 o'clock early in the morning, routine starts. This is my daily routine work.
So, Granddad, you were way punctual back then. I heard that there was a Indo-China war when you were a kid. So, did it affect you anyway? Was there any effects for you in Karnataka due to that Indo-China war during your childhood days?
Uh, Regarding Indo-China war, there was only one radio in my village. All together used to sit nearby that radio. All were so concentrated hearing the radio, but the owner of the radio was not interested to assemble in the house. After hearing half news, we used to come back. What was happening in the border, we were unaware of that because at that time newspaper was also not available in our village. Then only during the night hours, blackout used to be done. it was not affected us because our village was
Already blackout.
blackout due to the non-supply of the electricity. Uh, Sometimes we are not getting the food articles from the cities. Some trouble was there. We have not suffered so much because we are more away from the China border.
Okay.
Karnataka is so safe. It is a heaven of India, we can call.
Okay. When did you and how did you get a love for biology? Because you told Samkit that you loved bio as a subject when you were a kid.
When I was a kid, I born in a farmer's family. I used to love animal and farming. Huh. I used to milk the milk from the buffaloes and cows. So I liked the buffaloes. It is a zoological part. Then I used to go to the farm from sowing to rearing of the crops. So I was very much interested in zoology and biology, botany. So I taken my subject, special subject as a biology. I am interested because born in a farmer's family, I wanted to do my agriculture degree, but unfortunately, I didn't score required marks 45%. I only scored 44% in my PUC, but I didn't get the admission in agriculture college at Dharwad.
Okay.
But my son got BSc Agri. He done his BSc Agri. Hmm.
Okay, Granddad, as you are a police officer, so I want to know that how did you get into the police force? What were the things you did to get through that competitive exam?
Hmm. After completing my 7th standard, I completed my high school days nearby village, about 3.5 kilometers. We used to walk daily. The school used to start at 7 o'clock, then evening at 6 o'clock, because teachers were very strict. They were taking very much care. Special classes in English learning and learning art, painting, drawing. I passed the drawing examination, and I was first in the class for the 3 years. Then I have competed in the science competition. I got prize for that. Then I scored only 52% at that time. Then after completing high school examination, uh, in the meantime, I lost my mother after writing the 7th examination. I was just like an orphan. I used to do hard work. I have to prepare food, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I have to leave house to the school. It is called Arlikatti village by walking without chappals. Uh, then uh, with these difficulties, I have passed SSLC examination in second class. Then I have got the college admission PUC at PC Jabin College, Hubli, the famous college uh, at that time of the Karnataka University. At the one special thing about that college is I also studied in the same college. My daughter also studied in the same college up to PUC. My son also studied in the same college. Then I have passed BSc with biology in Javin College. After passing, I was admitted in the university, Karnataka University, as a botany as my subject. I completed my MSc degree with second class. Then, after remaining in the village for 1 or 2 years without interest in joining the service, then my father, I started my kirani shop and flour mill and LIC agency, fertilizer dealership. But my father used to tell to join the service, police department, because I was having the required health and body for the sub inspector post. I applied. Then I prepared for the physical test, running and other required physical exercises. Then I got through the physical test. I written also exam very well. I passed in written test also. Then interview, personal interview, I have selected in that. I have undergone 1 year of training, police training in police training college, Mysore. It was very tough training at that time. In the meantime, before joining, I married. Then, before joining the police training college, I have 2 kids. It was a very difficult time during the training and after training also. Then, after serving in the Karnataka police, I have got a good name. I have got many rewards and got Chief Minister's Gold Medal for working hard twice.
That's it. Okay, so you were in the SPG also. So can you tell us one or two of the memories which are dear to your heart when you were in the SPG?
Oh, after assassination of the Indira Gandhi by his own security guards, sick people, then the at that time the famous security advisor called Subramaniam, he made an organization called Special Protection Group under the Cabinet Secretariat. Then only they were earlier they used to Delhi police used to give the protection to the prime minister. Then he changed the system for SPG, Special Protection Group. The police officers were selected throughout India on deputation basis for 5 years. I also didn't apply my SP after seeing my height and other things and obedience. He himself recommended my name along with the others' name. Already they were given application. Then my name was included, my SP's handwriting, along with me another two, one PSI and one constable's name was also included. Then interview was attended by all the 6 people. But lastly, I was people who have selected were the names written by the SP by his own handwriting. We are so lucky to join the SPG. After joining the SPG, I have undergone the training for 3 months, rigorous training. It was just like a commando training, daily running of 5 meters, sharp shooting. You might have heard the name of Rana, who have got the gold medals in Asian Games. He was the son of the Rana who was make us to sharp shooters.
Oh.
I am a very good sharp shooter, and my physique was also very good. Undergone so many physical training during the SPG training period. We have attended the NSG training also. Then I have become a good sharpshooter and good personal security officer of the Prime Minister. I was with Rajiv Gandhi for 5 years. Then I served with the VP Singh, then Prime Minister Chandrasekhar and Narasimha Rao. Due to my efficient work, my deputation period of 5 years was extended up to 9 years because I volunteered to come back to my home department. But it was very interesting. I have traveled with the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi uh, so many countries. I was security officer for the aircraft. I have crossed the international deadline. I have got the certificate from Air India office. I have got so many commendation letters from the SPG. One incident was that when I was traveling from Delhi to Vancouver, it was 11 days tour. I I was the security officer for the aircraft. It was the country in Canada, the Khalistan terrorists were operating. It was a very tough tour for all who were involved in the security duties. Our flight left 12 o'clock, October 23, I think. Then we reached Tokyo. In Tokyo, all the people went to the Prime Minister program in the university. Being a security officer to the aircraft, cleaned and everything was make ready. Then the people, fresh people and other peoples came. We were instructed nothing should be happen. It should not be any loopholes in your security checking and other things. We were so alert. I didn't know the security secretary who was the chief election commission officer for Indian Election Commission. Then he was secretary for security SPG. I didn't met him. He was also accompanying us. I checked thoroughly him after completion of the security check. Our aircraft door was closed. Then my director, one uh, Virendra Singh, called me. Security Secretary Session is calling you. Then I was very afraid. I might be done a mistake. I was trembling. I went with my director. Then the security secretary got up and greeted me, and he advised me, what you are doing is very good. I appreciate your work. You must continue till after reaching the Delhi after all the tours. Then he gave me $500 as a presentation, as a reward for me. Then I was very enthusiastic and pleasant at that time. Hard work only give you rewards and satisfaction in your career. So I was happy. I did the same thing. Uh, then after coming back in completion of the tour, Deepavali we come back. It was the enjoyable tour at that time.
Okay, so Granddad, another question for you. How did you celebrate the national holidays those days? When you were young, how did you celebrate the national holidays?
Whether in SPG or in general.
In SPG.
In SPG, we used to celebrate. Because I was having a high educational qualification and talking in English, Hindi, other security officer from the other branches. I was very shrewd person, though they used to select me for the ring round duties during the festivals. I used to use 3-4 times Independence Day and ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಜಾರೋಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ and retreat January 30 retreat day. It was very hard and difficult job because we have to go for the rehearsal early in the morning and evening of the severe cold days. Then we performed very well. We after the function is over, we have a group photos with the prime ministers. I have four group photos with the prime ministers, and we have got so many certificates from the prime minister with the signatures appreciating our work. My career was at the peak of my career. I served my daughter Padmini and my son Pradeepa used to study there. One very important day was that the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi used to meet with our family members. Then my children think that we may, the SPG people make us to stand behind or some away from the Prime Minister. They went with bicycle. They brought one peace bird of gift. They were so intelligent. Then on the next day we attended the function with family members. Both took the gift handed over to the prime ministers. Then what happened? The one bell was there, that bird, speech bird, it fallen down. Prime Minister told, "You give that bell, then only I will take." He spent about 5 to 10 minutes to adjust that. Then they were very near by the prime ministers. Those photos are still today with us. Whenever they will see that, I will also see that. They will astonish at that time how so near to the prime ministers. They are the proud children of me.
So, Granddad, we learned a lot today at how you used to live in those times. What were your trials and tribulations, and how did you overcome them? It was a good session.